Well, hi friends, I'm Brian Cosby, this is Provide and Protect, and today I want to talk about these DeWALT heavy-duty walkie-talkies.
Hey buddy, you there?
Yep.
I need you to bring over another can of gas for me.
Okay, I'll be over there in a minute.
Thanks. Hey buddy, we need to check the perimeter. Could you keep an eye on the front gate?
Sure. Okay. Look at the new Off-Grid knives.
Yes, you want to look at the new off-grid knives? That's fine, just I kind of want to look at them with you, so I'll be down there in just a minute.
You know, there's so many reasons why it might be very beneficial to have some of these around your home and your property or your job site. You know, I'm all the time going to another part of the property and taking one of these with me if it's over at the sawmill or if I'm jumping in my side-by-side or my four-wheeler and going somewhere, to be able to communicate back to the house, to communicate with my kids. My kids don't all have cell phones, and so there's a reason for that. But to be able to still communicate with them if they need something, and let's say my wife's gone for the day or something and my kids are home, I still need to communicate with them. Or if I get injured, I still like to be able to communicate with them and or with someone else that might have something like this as well. Or maybe you're at the job site and you don't want to just keep pulling out your phone all the time. Maybe you don't want, maybe it's raining or if it's muddy or dusty or something, and you don't want to get your phone messed up or broken, if you're doing some heavy work or something and you don't want to get your phone damaged. So to have something like this might be a great option. Or let's say your carrier, whatever phone carrier you have, is no longer working, or for that day, and this has happened, where service just is down for some reason, and you need to have some other form of communication. Well, here you go. You have something like this. So there's so many uses and reasons I think that everyone should at least consider having some form of other communication, some comms. For years we've used the Midland, different kinds of Midland two-way radios, and those have been great. But there's some drawbacks that I found with some of those, and so that's why we picked these up. Now these are saying they have a 2-watt output, and that they will transmit to 300,000 square feet, which is crazy, or 25 stories, 25 floors. Obviously, you're going to have better range if it's just a direct line of sight. And if the more walls and trees and hills and everything, you're going to have a little bit less range like that. But that is quite a bit of range for something, like this. So they are beefy. They are heavy duty. It says that it has a 2-meter shock resistance, and so it does have this kind of rubberized texture. And this casing here, so kind of hard plastic casing and this rubberized texture around the outside of it. So that's nice. It does say that it's also dust proof and waterproof, which is also really, really nice. One of the biggest things that drew me to these, that it says that it has 18 hours of operating time. Now, that breakdown of the 18 hours is 90% standby, 5% talk, and 5% listening. And it has 22 channels on it, so you have plenty of options with the channels. I'll talk about that in just a second. But as far as charging these, you have a couple of options. You have not only this little charging port right here, you can charge it that way, or it comes with a little dock. Obviously it doesn't have the cable on it now, but you can just put these in the dock like that, and you're good to go. It also comes with each one of these, it's a 2-pack by the way, comes with these holsters. So basically the idea is you can put this into the holster. It snaps right there on top in that little snap piece, and it is not always easy to get that in. I'll talk about that in just a second. There you go. So I've not really used it for that reason. I put them in and I can't always get it exactly where I need it to. And so what I end up doing, instead of using these holsters, like taking it on and off, I just keep it like this typically. And that way I can just clip this to my pants, my belt, pocket, something. So I just usually just keep keep that on. So take it off is a lot easier. But anyway, that's nice though to have a clip on it. So the clip is not built into it. So if you do just need to slide it into your pocket, not worry about the bulky clip on there, you can do that. So I'll just put one of these out of the way to look at this a little bit closer, more detail. Turning it on, this little knob up here, there's a volume as well. You can see it's on channel 7 right now. Here, this button right here is your push to talk, and it will give a little beep when you begin, when you're finishing up the call. It just lets the other person know, hey, this person's finished with their call, and that's a nice little. I think most of them they all have that. But one nice feature about this that I do want to mention is that it does have a hands-free, like voice-activated feature, so that let's say you're operating a big piece of equipment, and you want to put on a headset with a microphone. It has this little, you can see it up there, right there, this little port, and you can pop in a headset and just have that on. And so if you're, like I said, if you're doing a excavator, or if you're doing something else, and you just want to don't keep pulling this out of your pocket or taking it off your pants or something and talking and pushing, you can just literally start talking, and it will pick it up and transmit that. So that is pretty nice. So it on the front here, you can kind of see it has this little lock button, and the lock button is that if you press and hold this for 3 seconds, it will lock all the buttons on here. So if you accidentally hit a button when you're working, then it won't do anything. So that's a nice little feature. The other thing, so going through the modes, you just push this mode button, and it goes through the various features of these walkie-talkies. So push it once, you can change up or down right here, the channel. Push it again. Here's your voice-activated hands-free mode, so off. Push up to go on, as you can see. And if you keep it on like that and go to the next screen, it's how sensitive it is to hearing that voice. So on 5 there, so it's still on. On 5, it is strong sensitivity. You can go down to 1 and back up to 5. So it'll pick up your voice based upon what you put there. This next screen is kind of neat. If you not only want the sound to come through, like the little chirp, but that next screen there had the 0. If I go up to 1, that will do not only the sound, but also it'll vibrate. So if you can't hear it, you'll feel it. So that's kind of nice. I'm going to go back through. I'm going to turn this off, the voice activated part off. Turn that back down just to 0 for the audio only. And then the next two are really kind of interesting. The next two are 2 advanced coded squelch systems. So you can see on here the little tiny 22 next to it, next to the channel. So channel 7, but then you got this DCS 22. So these are basically they're privacy codes, and the whole reason for those is that if you are, let's say on a job site, or you're with a bunch of other people, and let's say they're using either the same channel or something, maybe a different brand, I don't know, but it prevents like interference from other walkie-talkies or two-way radios or something. So that's a pretty handy thing to have, that you can basically prevent that other interference. And I've noticed that when we are using these on a property, and it is just crystal clear sound, and it's just nice to be able to do that and hear well what's going on, be informed, and not have to worry about dropping this, banging something, and it not working. It's going to be heavy duty. So I think for a lot of reasons, it's nice to have these kinds of things on your property. Have these kinds of ways to communicate other than just a cell phone, and I really have enjoyed these so far, and especially, like I said, with my kids around, or if I'm doing another project with someone else, just to have an easier form of communication than just a cell phone, which I oftentimes can't hear, don't hear, and to have something like this that's just easy, and I don't have to worry about it breaking or messing up. So really, really, really great options here. Well, thanks so much for joining me today. Hope this has been helpful for you. And if you have other thoughts or tips on using these or other ways and purposes that you use these, please drop that down below. And if you've not already done so, please consider hitting that like button and subscribing to the channel. I really appreciate you and your support. We'll see you on the next video.